Hey everybody, it's the Alchemist here, and today we're doing what if Deku was cheated on. Sorry it took me so long. YouTube took my last video down for inappropriate content. So, last time I did this video, Wind Dude and Todoroki used their fire on one together to try and stop King Orca. King Orca pulled out the water bottle. And then Deku comes in with that kick. But since he's at like 50% I made him, or whatever, it sends King Orca back through the hole we came from. Deku breaks Wind Dude and Todoroki free. And they go out, stop the bad people, the King Orca goons, and that. Sorry if you hear anything in the background, that's just my bed. Yeah, so they all get their hero license. And since they made it to college, they go back to UA. They change, and they go change, and they all head out to a bar, drink some adult juice, and they're a little tipsy, and they all go back to UA. And Bakugo kisses Deku passionately. They fall in bed. Deku starts kissing her neck. And then they take off each other's tops, and time skip to about an hour later. And Deku he forgot the Saiyan battle armor. So let's skip 2 weeks. Katsumi got really sick in class, so they went to Recovery Girl. Recovery Girl did a couple tests, and she turns around in her chair, has her hands folded, her elbows on the armrest, and she's like, "So, what have you two been doing in private time?" And they both go red. Nothing. Well, apparently, young Miss Katsumi over here has a bun in the oven. And Deku's like, "What? Wait, does that mean she's pregnant?" And Recovery Girl's like, "Yes. We're gonna have to tell Nezu." And Nezu's like, "Haha, I'm already here." Like, how do you appear out of nowhere? I crawl through the vents. That was my finger. And Zuko's like, "Why? I like to." Well, since she has a precious little package in there, she will do classwork but no hero training. And Deku's like, "Okay." And I advise you too to go tell your guys' parents. So they walk down the the nurse's office, and he's like, and they go back to the dorms. They go to Iziku's room, and he's like, okay, which parents are we telling first? And she's like, how about your mom? And he's like, okay, let's go. They walk out, they're like, oh, we're just gonna go visit our parents. And they all buy it. So they head over to Miss Midoriya, her Inko's apartment, and he knocks on her door. No, he walks in and he's like, Mom, I'm home with my girlfriend. And she's like, oh, okay. Come sit down in the living room. I'll grab some drinks. And so they sit down on a couch. Inko sits down from across them with tea. And they're like, so, Mom, we have something to tell you. And Inko's like, okay, what is it? And Deku looks over at Katsumi and she's like, should you tell her or should I? And she's like, can you tell her? And he's like, okay. And he's like, Mom, me and Katsumi are, we're gonna have a baby. And she's like, what? Can you repeat? And Deku says it again. Blushed from nervousness. And she's like, wait, so you're telling me I'm going to be a grandmother? And he's like, yes. She's like, yay! Oh, is it going to be a boy or a girl? What's the name? Can it sleep over here sometimes? Going crazy. And he's like, Mom, calm down. We just found out. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet. And we don't know what we're going to name it. Leave a comment saying what you want for a name for the child. Leave a boy and a girl name. What you want the child to be named. So they talk for a while. Inko gives Deku a bunch of baby books. Gives him a bunch of baby books on what to do. Sorry if I heard that. Pop on my fingers right now. And they're like, okay. Well, we still have to go tell Katsumi's parents about this. And she's like, okay. Tell me how it goes. So they head out with a bunch of books. A lot of books. And they go over to Katsumi's mother's place. And they knock on the door. Let's just say they had a bring our grocery bag or whatever filled with books. They come in, take their shoes off, sit down. Her Katsumi's mother and daughter Mitsuki, don't know the father's name, don't really give a crap. Like, so when did you come to visit us for? And there's the Deku and I'm just gonna call her, but Katsumi. Sit across from Katsumi's parents. And they sang together, we have something to tell you guys. And who's telling this time? Oh, and Katsumi says, well, since it's my mother, I should too. And he's like, okay. And she looks at her mother and says, mother and father, and says, father, me and Izuku are, having a baby together. And she's like, what? What? And I never give them ages. I'm gonna say they're 20. Sorry about that. I'm a little tired. Yeah, so they do that. And Katsumi repeats it. And she's like, so I'm gonna be a grandmother? Have you told Inko? She's like, yeah, we just came from there. And she's like, you didn't tell me first? I'm like, sorry. She's like, that's fine, as long as the baby gets to stay here too. And they're like, yeah, it will. Do you know if it's a boy or girl yet? No, we just found out that we just found out today. So we came to tell you, Bo. She's like, take more books. More baby books. And they're like, okay. So now they have like 3 bags of baby books. So they talk there for a while, talk about arrangements. They did that with Inko. So then they're just like, okay, well, it's getting late. I think we should head back to the dorms. And they're like, okay. And today was an off day for them. They got an off day since Katsumi threw up. So by the time they get back, everyone changed out of their school clothes and was kind of doing some homework. And when they left, Deku had 2 bags in one hand and a bag in the other hand. And Katsumi on his back. Because he wanted to carry her on his back. Let's just say she fell asleep. So when Deku gets to the dorms, he nudges the door open. Okay. Sorry if you guys heard that. I just had a sneeze. Whew. Yeah, so Deku pushes the door in quietly. And he goes in, sets the books down, and Katsumi starts waking up. She's like, what's going on? And he's like, we just got back to the dorms. She's like, oh, okay. She hops off his back. And, alright, where did you two go? Why'd you throw up? Alright, no reason. And Mineta, being curious, he's like, why do you guys have all these baby books? And Izuku just kicks him in the forehead, sending him flying. He's like, stay out of our stuff. He just picks up the books and runs upstairs. He's in full cowling. Then comes back. And Mineta's like, hey, do you got something to kill off? And Izuku's like, that's none of your business. And Nezu comes in. Izuku, Katsumi, you two will be moving into a house on campus. I thought we already were in a house. A proper house. 4 rooms. A guest bedroom, master bedroom. Well, master bedroom, 3 guest bedrooms. Well, no. Yeah. And 1 shall be baby room. And Izuku's like, we haven't told them. And Nezu's like, oh. Well, we already have baby stuff in there for you. Changing thing, a crib, everything else that new parents will need. Boys, chop chop, move all their stuff out, move it into the house. And Izuku's like, what? And next thing they know, they just see a bunch of They just see a bunch of movers run through the door and invade their rooms and just start taking everything, boxing it up. And Izuku's like, hey, be careful with that limited edition All Might stuff. If anything gets broken, I'm coming after you, Nezu. And Nezu's like, and Uraraka's like, baby room? And Izuku says, so do you want to tell him or should I? And Katsumi's like, oh, well, me and Izuku are having a baby. And as soon as Uraraka hears this, she's like, turns white and just gets it. Just turns white, like, what? Everyone turns, like, gets that purple, bluish thing above them with the waves saying, like, huh? Or, nani? Nani? So, yeah. So they go into their house. It's a nice big house with lots of food, lots of room. So they go in their bed into the master bedroom. And they fall asleep, spooning. Deku being the big spoon with his hand on her stomach. And he kisses her on the back of the head, saying goodnight. And Katsumi's like, good night. And just passes out. Let's skip to about 3 in the morning. Katsumi wakes up and frantically gets out of bed. And Deku wakes up and is like, what's going on? And then next thing he hears is throwing up. So he quickly gets up, runs to the bathroom, and grabs her hair and pins it up. And he just starts rubbing her back. He starts saying, it's okay. It's okay. So like, ooh. Is this gonna be happening a lot? And he's like, yeah. I read a baby book while we were walking. What? Yeah. It says morning sickness a lot. Cravings up and down, so you're gonna probably get cravings in the middle of the day. Up and down. Your feet are gonna get swollen. Mood swings. Like, okay. So we're gonna time skip to where Katsumi's about 5 months pregnant. There's a nice little bulge. There's a nice tum-tum. And, let's see. What gender do you guys want the boy? What do you want it to be? A boy or a girl? So, yeah. I'm gonna leave that gender up to you. And let's say Deku was gone a day while Mitsuki and Go took Katsumi out for a girl's day. And Deku went over to Mitsuki's house where Katsumi's dad is. And he went over there and he asked him if he could marry his daughter. And he was like, yeah. Yeah, I give you permission. Because Deku's a good guy. He asked for permission before asking the girl. Which is what you should always do. Ask permission from the father before. And he's like, really? He's like, yes. He's like, okay, thank you, sir. I'm gonna go buy a ring. Bye. So Deku goes to a jeweler's. I don't know which jeweler's. And he's like, I'm looking for engagement rings. Engagement rings. And that. You might pick out a nice one about, I don't know how much it costs, but let's see, about $1,000. So he calls Inko and Mitsuki and asked them to meet him with Katsumi at a beautiful place with a sunset and a waterfall. A sunset on the beach. And he asked Katsumi's dad to meet him there too. So they all go, and she's like, why are we here? And they see Izuku there. And when they get over to him, and he told them his plan. And that, so sorry for me pausing all the time, coming up with this on the spot, no scripts. So, when Katsumi gets up to him, he's like, why are we here? And Deku says, very nervously, Katsumi, I have an important question to ask you. And she's like, what? What question is that? And Deku reaches into his pocket and gets down on one knee and opens the box. And he's like, Katsumi Bakugo, will you give me the pleasure of making me the happiest man in the world by marrying me? And she's like, she puts the hands on the mouth and she's like, huh? And she's like, yes, I will. And Deku's like, really? And she's like, yes, I will. So Deku jumps up and hugs her. And Deku's crying. Cause he's gonna cry. Cause what man wouldn't? And he picks her up and spins around. And he takes the ring out of the box and puts it on her left ring finger. Cause that's where you put the ring. And that. So like, we're so happy for you. We'll help plan the wedding. So let's skip 4 months. And let's go to Katsumi wait, no. I'm not gonna do that yet. Never mind. Let's skip to the next day when they all were in class, and when Katsumi and Deku walk in, they're holding hands, and Momo sees a glint on the left hand, and she's like, wait a minute. So she jumps out of her seat and just dive bombs in front of them. She's like, show me the left hand. And Katsumi's like, no. And Momo just grabs it anyways, and she's like, And she pulls out a jeweler thingy for the eyes. She's like, oh, real diamond, real gold. How much did this cost? $1,000. She's like, I could have forgotten anyone. I would have paid for it. Sorry, I didn't want anyone else to know. She's like, he's like, yeah. And the worker's like, what, you're marrying her? And he's like, yeah, got a problem with it? And she's like, you're supposed to marry me. And by this time, Ida's out of the wheelchair. And he's like, what, Uraka? You're thinking of me? She's like, you're just a side piece. And he's like, oh yeah? Well, you let this side piece take your V card. And she's like, shut up. Yeah. And Deku's like, ever since I found out you were cheating on me, I would never date you again. And I would never give you a ring. Sorry for that super long pause. And then Salma walks in, he's like, shut up, sit down. And then he leans back and sees the ring. He's like, nice, Midoriya. He's like, thanks. I better be invited to that wedding. And he's like, okay, I'll let you know. Today you're going to be picking out your, I forgot what it was called. Your whatever thing. Like the internships, but not the internships. Like what Deku did with the Nighteye. I forgot what it was called. Or is it the internships? Whatever. I haven't watched it in a while. So, yeah, Deku's racking his brain trying to figure out who to go to. So he texts All Might. Or he calls Gran Torino. He's like, sorry, kid. But there might be one person he can look into. His name's Nighteye. One of All Might's old partners. Little tip. Don't let him touch you or look you in the eye. He's like, okay. So, after school, Deku brings Katsumi home. He carries her. Because he likes to carry her. And he's like, I'm going to be out for a little bit. Okay? And she's like, where are you going? I'm gonna go find an internship or whatever. And Gran Torino gave me a pointer for one of All Might's old partners. And and they got pointed to Muriel. Deku did. So, yeah. Sorry about that. So, Mirio takes Deku. Oh, wait, no. Deku says, I'll be gone for a little bit tomorrow. And that. So, I skipped to the next day. Mirio takes Deku to Nighteye. And Mirio's like, you gotta make him laugh. Deku's like, I'm not doing that. I would rather prove my strength than that make someone laugh. And Nighteye heard this because they were like on the other side of the door. And he's like, so they walk in. And he's like, huh. I like the Almighty Core. And I was like, oh, are you a collector? He's like, yes, heavily. I have limited edition All Might figures. One of a kind. Well, two of a kind. You have the exact replica of mine. And Izuku just starts geeking out. And I was like, haha, so you're a collector. He's like, yes. Huh. So I heard you would rather prove strength than either make someone laugh. He's like, yeah. Well, he's like, huh. And he gives that touch Izuku on the shoulder, and Izuku jumps back. He's like, I don't prefer to be touched. And then he's like, in his head, he's like, what? Does he know? Does he know who I am? Does he know how my torque works? And then Bubble Girl comes in, and she says whatever she says. And then, or they walk, I don't remember, but Bubble Girl gets strapped to the machine. And if you think he has that in his office, imagine what he has in his bedroom. Like, what if Midnight found him and she's like, ooh, what else do you have? Because you know Nighteye has to be like some weird stuff. He is chiseled. Yeah, so. And I was like, okay. You have 3 minutes, I think he said, to grab this stamp and stamp the paper. And Izuku's like, okay. And all that I heard was Izuku could only go up to 15% or 6%, whatever chunk he was at with Gran Torino. And Izuku's just like, just bouncing up over the wall. He kicks Night-Eye's knee out, and Night-Eye falls back and hits his head, and Izuku quickly grabs the stamp and stamps the paper, and he's like, okay, when do I start? And that is like, you start today. He's like, okay. So they go out on patrol. And while they're walking, Izuku has a bump on his, gets bumped super hard on his leg. He's like, oh, huh? And he looks out and he's like, oh, you took a tumble there, little one. And he's like, here, let me help you. He stands her up, dusts her off. She's like, okay. And she's like, and she immediately tackles him. She's like, help me. And then Izuku and Muriel see someone coming out of the alley. So Izuku puts that thing that he always has around his neck on. He's like, don't worry, little one. So then he's like, sorry about that, hero. And then a person with a bird beak and a green suit or a green jacket starts walking out of the shadows. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry, heroes, about that. Sorry about my daughter. They run when they're afraid of getting punished. And Eri just grips tighter. And Izuku's like, okay, he is definitely not her father. So Izuku stands up while Eri's still holding on to him. And lightning appears and he's just like, quickly turns around and just gets out of the air and grabs Muriel and runs back to the agency. And at that time, Nighteye just got back and he's like, what are you two back here? Why are you two back here so soon? And he's like, do you have a picture of Overhaul? Nightaye's like, yeah, right here. He's like, we saw him today. And I'm like, what? Yeah, this little girl was running from him. And she's like, and Izuku's like, what's your name, little one? She's like, Eri? Eri? Okay, Eri. Well, you're safe now. And he's like, do you mind if we, take her back to UA? She's like, yeah, no problem. I'll contact local police, find out who she is. And he's like, okay. So they do all that. Eri gets taken to UA. This is, oh, Mr. Midoriya, who is this little one? She is, Eri. She was running from a bad guy. She's like, oh, okay. Well, little one, who do you want to stay with? And she's like, can I stay with Mr. Deku? And he's like, he's like, sure. That's all. It's okay with him. He's like, yeah, it's fine. So Izuku goes to back to his house on campus, and he walks in. He's like, honey, I'm home. He's like, oh, hey. He's like, I gotta talk to you. And she's like, what? What do you need to talk about? Well, today, I rescued a little girl. And she's like, what? She was running from a bad guy. And that. And I saved her. She's like, can I see the little one? And Eri, being all cute and adorable, pokes her head out from behind Deku's leg. She's like, hi. And Deku's like, it's okay. no need to be nervous. She's my fiance. Ari's like, what's a fiance? It's like, well, she was my girlfriend. And now she's gonna be my wife someday. So that means she'll be a mama? And I was like, yeah. She's even has a little money given. She's like, that. Well, we're gonna have a baby. She's like, oh, okay. And she's like, Dad, I'm hungry. And Izuku's heart's just like, she called me Dad. My heart, it's gonna melt. It's like a tear started forming. She's like, it's so cute. And she's like, can I talk to Mama for a second? She's like, and Katsumi's like, my emotions, my heart. She's like, of course, sweetie. So they do that. Well, and Izuku quickly makes a dinner. Let's say he makes a nice bowl of ramen. And they all sit down, eat. Let's say it's nighttime. Deku made Eri a nice bed. It's like right next to theirs. And he's like, okay, good night, little one. And she's like, can you stay for a little bit till I fall asleep? And Izuku's like, yeah, of course. So about 15 minutes later, she falls asleep. And Deku goes into his room, back to his room, and Katsumi's like, what took you so long? And he was like, oh, Eri just wanted me to fall asleep with her. Wanted me to fall asleep. Or wanted me to stay with her until she fell asleep. Say, oh, you're gonna be a great dad to our baby. He's like, I've read a lot of parenting books. She's like, yeah, I gotta get to those. He's like, you're gonna have to do that soon. He's like, yeah. So, they go to sleep in about 12 at night. Izuku wakes up and he feels someone tapping him. He's like, huh? He turns and sees Eri. And she's like, Papa, I had a nightmare. And Izuku's like, okay. And she's like, can I sleep with you? And he's like, yeah. What do you have a nightmare about? The bad man. Don't worry. I'll take care of that bad man. Let's go to bed. And he puts her in the middle of him and Katsumi turns. What's going on? He's like, oh, Eri just had a nightmare. She's gonna sleep with us. She's like, okay. So that happens. Next morning, Katsumi and Eri wake up to the smell of bacon, eggs, pancakes. So they go down stairs, and in the middle of eating, Izuku gets a call from Nighteye. He's like, Izuku, we found where Chisaki is hiding, or where all of her